Hello students, welcome to the video. In this video we will see how to calculate roots of quadratic equation by using mathematical instructions or mathematical coprocessor. The program that we are going to write, it will be written in assembly language using instructions of 386 and 387. So to find roots of quadratic equation we need three values. The values of a, b and c. Here we consider the equation ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. So we need three values a, b and c. We will calculate x1 and x2 or root 1 and root 2. So before that we will declare some variables in the data section. Here we have the various variables declared with some initial value. Msg1, msg1, it is complex root. So when the value we are going to calculate that value of root, if the roots are imaginary it will display complex root. Then for that we have the length variable msg length 1 equate equ, it will assign length of the message 1 to message length 1 variable. Second message is root 1 and its length is message 2 message length 2. Then third variable message 3, its value is root 2. The string which we are writing in double quote is the value of that variable and its length is calculated and it will be stored in message length 3 msg len3. We have some values of variables a, b, c. Instead of taking input from user we have declared here a, b and c 1, 8 and 15. For each variable the memory allocation is double word type, so 4 bytes for each variable a, b and c. Two variables we have declared 4 and 2. The values are 4 and 2 respectively. Again double word type memory is allocated, so for 4 value is 4, for 2 value is 2. Then we have one variable hdec with initial value 100. As after decimal point we want 2 digits, so it will be 100. If you want 4 digit after decimal point it should be 10,000. So we will use it in multiplication with the result. Then in result we have to display point as a decimal point, so this point is declared point. Memory allocation is db, that is byte level, and for hdec it is quad word, so 8 bytes. Then the next section again it will be variables but without any initial value. These variables will be initialized during runtime. So the variable root 1, root 2, these are the variables with one double word type of memory. So reserve double word, res is reserve, d is double word. Reserve double word type memory, it is one double word for root 1, same way it is one double word for root 2. Then reserve buffer, while displaying the result we are using this result buffer. Temp, to store the temporary result. Byte level memory is allocated 2 bytes for reserve buffer, it is 10 bytes. For disk it is 1 byte. We have to declare some macros. So here we have two macros, write, read and exit. Write is used to display the value on terminal. So the rx value 1, rdi value 1, it denotes we have to perform the display operation or print operation. We have to display it on the monitor, so print on monitor, so rdi is 1. What we have to display is the first parameter and its length is mod 2 rdx. And syscall, the interrupt, it will call the system function or kernel to call the operation. Same way we have the read function. Here values are rx0, that means take input or read. From where we have to read is standard input, so rdi is 0. What we have to read is a value and that value need to be stored in some variable, so that variable is mod 1, the first parameter of the instruction calling statement. rdx mod 2, it is the length of variable in which we are going to store the input. Again syscall, interrupt call or the system function call to call the read function. Third is exit, so no parameter will be passed, we are just calling it to exit from the program. rx, 60, 60 is the operation code, xor rdi, rdi, so rdi is equal to 0, and call the function by using syscall, so call kernel to exit from the program. These are the macros, 3 macros and various variables, 5 variables. The next is logical section, text section, in which we declare underscore start as a global, label where linker will start execution. So assembler will start executing from this underscore start, and linker will link assembler to this statement. So underscore start is a label. Finit instruction to initialize coprocessor to default value, so it will be 0 for all registers. Load value of B. Now what is the formula to calculate the roots of the quadratic equation? First we have to calculate this D value. You can have this name anything. So D equal to square root of B square minus 4AC. So first we need B value. Calculate square, then minus 4AC. Square root of this one. If this D value is less than 0, roots are imaginary or complex. D is equal to 0, then roots are real and they are equal. So root 1 is equal to root 2, and if D is greater than 0, roots are different and both are real. Now what will be the root value? So root 1 equal to this calculated value, capital D minus B divided by 2A, and for root 2 it will be minus D minus B divided by 2A. We have to write instructions to calculate this root 1 and root 2. So we will go back to the program. Now first we load B in the register, so it is ST0 equal to B. So we can write here ST0 equal to B. Then F multiply, that is multiply this with B, value of B. So F multiply, MUL is multiply ST0 by the value of B, it is B square. Then load A. Now we have to load value of A and C, so we can calculate 4AC. So load A means it will be loaded in ST0, and the value which was stored in ST0 after multiplication, it will go to the ST1. Then FLD A, what it will be on the top, it will be A, and next to the top it will be B square. Again load C, multiply by C, so it will be AC on the top, then multiply with 4F MUL D word 4, it means multiply value of 4, that value should be in double word size, so 2 bytes will be used. Again here F multiply D word C, so value from the C will be in double word format, and it will be multiplied with A and C, so it will be AC. Then here it will be 4AC. Then subtract value, so what we have to do is the subtraction. So when we perform SUB, we are not specifying any value or operand, so this operation will be B square minus 4AC. Now B square is in ST1, so when we use FSUB without any operand, the operands used are ST1 and ST0. So ST1 minus ST0, ST1 is B square, ST0 is 4AC, so result will be B square minus 4AC. The result will be stored in ST0, so it will be B square minus 4AC. Now compare that value, so TST is test ST, ST0 is compared with 0, whether it is 0 or not. If it is 0, the roots are equal. If not, then if it is less, then we have to display the message that roots are complex or imaginary. If not, then we will calculate the roots. So it will test, then store status word in register AX. So here we are storing the status word of coprocessor by using FSTSW. Destination is AX, so we can store in AX register or some memory location. Now here we have mentioned AX, so destination is AX. Then SAHF, this instruction, what it will do, it will store AH register into flags register. So whatever flag register we have, in that value of AH register will be stored. Then if the ST value, whatever value we have calculated, if that value is less than 0, so the value that we have calculated is B square minus 4AC. If that value, if it is less than 0, the solution should be imaginary and we are not going to calculate it. So jump it below no real solution, and there it will exit from the program. If not, then calculate square root, so square root of B square minus 4AC. Then store that value in variable disk. So disk equal to b square, square root of b square minus 4ac. Now the first root will be the calculated value, square root of b square minus 4ac minus b divided by 2a. So subtract value of b from the disk value. Now that value is in st0, so you have subtract, what we have to subtract is b, disk minus b. The result will be again on the stack top, so it will be st0. You have division, divided by a and then divided by 2, so it will be division by 2a. So this is the result, disk minus b divided by 2a. Whatever answer is generated, it will be stored in stack top, and that we have to display. So write the message root 1 is, so this is the message msg2 root 1 equal to, and display that value. So here is the display procedure called disp procedure. Next, fldz. Later on we will see what is that disp procedure. We will continue with the next instruction. After displaying the first root, it will go to the next instruction, fldz, load 0 on the stack. So stack will have 0 value. Then you have subtract disk. So subtract disk value from the 0, that is the st0, because we need minus d value, as the formula is there, minus b minus d divided by 2a. So to get negative value, we first load 0 and then subtract disk. Now we will get minus disk. Then subtract b from that value. So here is the instruction to subtract b. F subtract d word b minus disk minus b divided by 2a. So first divide by a, or you can divide by 2. So f division a, divide the result in st0 by a, then again divide that result by 2. This is the value that we need to calculate. Now this is our second root. Then display message, write message 3 comma message length 3 root 2 equal to, and then display procedure is called to display the value, and after that we exit from the code. So here is the jump exit. Next instruction is label no real solution. As we have seen, if disk value is less than 0, the solution is imaginary and we are not going to calculate it. So here it will write message complex roots, write message 1 is complex roots, and then exit. It will continue to the next statement exi. Exi is a exit. Here if roots are not imaginary, we come to the statement jump exi by calculating root 1 and root 2 and by displaying those values. So from here it will exit, jump to the exit, and the exit code is rx, 60, rdi, 1. Here we can have 0 value. No need to mention 1, and then syscall. So it will call the exit function, that means system call. Now the procedure that we have to see is display procedure. So here is the display procedure. What display procedure will do, it will multiply the result by 100, as fi mul we have written, multiply integer value or the integer multiplication multiplied by hdec. hdec was initialized with 100, so we will get 2 decimal points of the decimal location. If you want 4 digits, then we have to multiply by 10,000. Then after multiplication, store that value in result buffer. Now result buffer is of 10 bytes long length. If you want 4 bytes to display, then in the next instruction we have to mention move rsi comma result buffer plus 4. If you want 5 bytes, if you want 2 bytes, then mention here plus 1. If you want 7 bytes, mention result buffer plus 7. Like that we can mention which digit we want. So as we are writing 9, it points to the 10th byte. So byte location minus 1. If 10th byte we want to display, then 9. If you want to display 7th byte, then plus 6. If you want to display 5th byte, then plus 4. Like that we have to write rsi comma reserve buffer plus 9. Now why we are mentioning plus 9? The result is stored in reverse order in the memory slot, and 1 byte contains 2 digits. So if our result is 987654, it will be stored as a 547689 98. Like that we will get the result. So reverse order we have to access for the result. That's why we directly point to the last byte, move RSI comma result buffer plus 9. Then move RCX comma 09. Now how many bytes we want is 9 bytes. This way we will point to the 10th byte, but it will repeat 9 times, and before displaying last byte we have to display point. So here we are just pointing to 9th byte. So RCX is 9 and the counter is 9. Then the procedure that we are going to repeat is next one up to the loop statement. So up to this we will repeat it. Once the condition becomes false, that is the RCX value becomes 0, it will continue to the next line. Push RCX, that means push count on the stack. Then push address. Address is the last byte of the result. First we push count, then we push address. Then we read a value from the address and store in the BL, and we display that value by using disp procedure. So here we call disp. Now disp is the procedure where we convert that value into ASCII and then display it. So temp is a temporary buffer which will be used to display we store the value pointed by EDI. We have 2 digits, so ECX comma 02. We have to repeat this procedure 2 times. What is the procedure? So that procedure is disp UP1. Now rotate BL comma 4, that means rotate left by 4. Whatever answer we get in the BL, copy it to the DL. By copying a DL, AND it with 0F, so we get only 1 digit, that is the rightmost digit. And after performing AND, we add 30, so we get ASCII value of that result. So if it is 1, ASCII will be 31. If it is 9, ASCII will be 39. If it is capital A, we have to add 7 plus 30, so it will be 37. Now compare with 39 after adding 30. If it is less than 39, no need to add 7. If it is greater than 39, we need to add 7. So here add DL comma 07. If it is less than 39, so it is jumpy below or equal disp skip 1. So it will not add 7 and it will go to the next statement, and next label is disp skip 1, after which it will copy that content of DL to the EDI. So move EDI comma DL, copy content of DL to the location pointed by EDI, and EDI is pointing to temp. Temp is a 2 bytes buffer, 1 byte buffer with 2 digits, or sorry, it is 2 bytes memory location where we store 2 digits of the 1 byte in the original result. Then increment EDI, it will point to the second byte. So now we can store second byte in the result. So again it jumps back by using loop to the disp UP1, so where it comes back, and the next statement is executed, that is again rotate left by 4. So original result was 13. If it is 13, after first rotation it becomes 31. We get 1, we store it in the temp buffer. Again we go back, again rotate it, so it becomes 13. Now we AND it with 0F, we get 3. Now add 30, so we get 33. It is less than 39, so store it in the temp. Like that we have to perform rotation to get digit from each byte. So each digit will be stored in the temp buffer. Now 2 digits are in the temp. Temp is a temporary memory that you have created. Now display it. Now we will display 2 bytes. 2 bytes contain 2 digits. So write temp. Write is a macro which will display temp, and length is 2 bytes. And after displaying it, return. So it returns back where it was called. So it was called, disp procedure was called in the disp process. Here it was called. After that it goes to the next pop RSI, as second value was pushed, and that value was RSI, the address, and it will be popped first, then again pop RCX, so it will pop counter which was pushed first. Now second value is pop counter. Decrement RSI, it goes to the previous byte, as we are pointing to the last byte firstly, then it goes to the previous byte. So that means from 9th it goes to the 8th. So like that it decrement, and then loop. During loop RCX is decremented and checked whether it is greater than 0 or not. So if it is 0, then it will not continue the loop. If it is greater than 0, it will continue the loop. So here it will continue loop with next one and goes back to the procedure. So it is the loop label. Again push RCX RSI, read value from RSI, copy it in the BL and display that value of BL. So as we are copying value of RSI in the BL, we have to use BL in the display procedure. If you are using another register here, then you have to use that register in the display procedure. So remember that point. This will repeat 9 times and it will go to the next statement after 9th loop when RCX becomes 0. Now push RSI. Again we push RSI on the stack, write point. Now we display that point value as we are going to display the decimals. So write point comma 1. Now if you want to display points 4 digits, then the counter, whatever counter we have mentioned, it should be size minus 2. As we are displaying only 2 digits, that is 1 byte, so count minus 9, size or size minus 1, size is 10 bytes, so 10 minus 1 it is 9. If you want to display 4 digits, then it should be 10 minus 2, that is 8. Like that you have to consider the value of counter. So your point is displayed, then pop RSI, read value of RSI from the stack, then from RSI get the value. That value is the digits after decimal point. So copy it in BL and again display by using disp procedure. Again it goes to the disp. In the disp it will call the convert to the ASCII value. After converting to ASCII, it stores in the temp and that temp is displayed and it returns back. From there it comes to the next statement, that is return. So again from here it goes back to the calling statement. So here we have called disp procedure and after that we have seen what happens. So it is calculating second value and second root and again displaying it. So here again we call the disp procedure and jump exit. So it will exit from the code. This is what the procedure to calculate roots for the given quadratic equation. And quadratic equation has 3 terms A, B and C. We have to calculate x1 and x2 based on the value of d, that is b square minus 4ac. We may call it as a delta, we may call d, or you can call anything for that value, but we have to calculate that value and then decide whether the roots are imaginary or real, whether real, equal or different. So by that way we have to decide the procedure and we have to continue the program. This is the program by using which we have calculated roots of quadratic equation if they are real and they may be same or they may be different. Thank you.